An American soldier holds up a Scolopendra subspinipes, a species of giant centipedes found throughout Asia, during the Vietnam War, 1967. The anti-bra protest in downtown San Francisco, 1969. Salvador Dalí, 1955. Robert Mitchum was imprisoned for 2 months after being arrested for marijuana possession in 1949. Ham the astro-chimpanzee, strapped for his space mission, gets a last interaction with fellow chimp before going. He survived 31st of January, 1961. Snake handler Frank Kiefer, part of the Seabrand Brothers Carnival. Mid-1940s, Idaho Falls, Idaho. Lunch on a Skyscraper, 1932. Sixth-grade student Kolya Platonov awarded the Medal for the Defense of Leningrad in 1943. Sami Camp, Finnmark, early 1900s. Ainu family, 1903. The Ainu were the indigenous people of Hokkaido and are essentially fully assimilated into Japanese culture, with only a handful of Ainu speakers left. A little inhabitant of Oymyakon. Photo by Dean Conger, Siberia, USSR, 1966. In 1933, the village recorded a temperature of 67.73, 89.9 degrees, one of the lowest ever measured in the Northern Hemisphere. Alternative fashion in Russia in the 1990s. Model La Ray, 1992. Russian strongman Samson, also known as Alexander Zas, performs strength feat 1910s. A Lapland warrior during the 20th century. Comrades lift fighter pilot I. Timoshenko, who shot down a German Mi-109 fighter, 1942. (1941), Minsk after its occupation by German troops. The original caption reads, "Hatred for the Nazis burns in the eyes of the man holding the child, while his wife, completely exhausted, lies on the pavement." A man balances on a wire between the towers of Notre Dame Cathedral, 1971. From the University of Southern California Libraries, this image is titled, "Hypnotizing an Alligator." Young Queen Elizabeth in March 1952, in the early days of her reign. Future United States President Theodore Roosevelt as a North Dakota deputy sheriff, holding 3 boat thieves he captured at gunpoint, 1886. Roosevelt was only 28 years old at the time. Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon, photographed by Annie Leibovitz for Vanity Fair, 1995. Costume designed by Japanese designer Kansai Yamamoto, 1970s. Jewish people protesting in Ellis Island against their deportation back in Germany, 1936. Woman from Egypt, 20th century. Soviet War veteran near the Eternal Flame on the anniversary of Victory Day, 1966. A row of frozen walleyes marks a successful ice fishing weekend on Lake Mill Lacs in Minnesota. This photo was first published in the December 1958 issue of National Geographic. April 15, 1920, Washington, D.C., a timeless message. I ain't got no quarrel with those Viet Cong. Muhammad Ali refuses the draft, costing him his title and 3 years of his career, April 28, 1967. A young Scarlett Johansson and Robert Redford on the set of The Horse Whisperer, 1998. A solidified mud flow covers State Highway 504 near the town of Toutle, northwest of Mount St. Helens, to a depth of 2 meters, 6 feet. Aftermath of the eruption of Mount St. Helens. Mermaid show at Weeki Wachee Spring State Park, Spring Hill, Florida, 1965. U.S. medic gives first aid to a wounded German SS soldier, France, 1944. (1980s) Japanese Yankee style. (1965) Mermaid show at Weeki Wachee Springs State Park, Spring Hill, Florida. French General Jean de Lattre de Tassigny at the celebration of the liberation of Montpellier, 1944. Children from a Gypsy Camp, 1930s. An American serviceman shares his rations with 2 Japanese children on the island of Okinawa, 1945. Soviet dancers and gymnasts during a rehearsal for the opening ceremonies of the 1980 Moscow Summer Olympic Games, Moscow, USSR, July 17, 1980. The Roller Skaters of Venice Beach, 1979. Shigeru Miyamoto holding a Nintendo Game Boy, nadadiendo na MCV. 1965, a mortally wounded Malcolm X was stretchered from the Audubon Ballroom in Manhattan after being shot 21 times. Ship's kitten, born in a wardrobe of an officer's cabin, looks out on the world through a scuttle. On board the destroyer HMS Kelvin. 1941, at sea. Baby pops with his sisters, 1954. A man holds a piece of pumice rock between his legs. Katmai National Park, Alaska, September 1921. A 1995 photograph of the two men responsible for negotiating the end of white minority rule in South Africa, current South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, and his newly appointed ambassador to the United States, Roelf Meyer. A fisherman and his family gathered closely around a tabletop radio in their living room in Provincetown, Massachusetts, 1942. By the 1950s, female PLA officers were training in martial arts. A photograph from the time shows a woman throwing a colleague in a dramatic judo move set against the backdrop of the Royal Docks. Protest against the Vietnam War, 1967. American race car driver Ray Keech at his 36-cylinder white triplex, Atlantic City, February 18, 1928. Dust Bowl Dune, circa 1936. Katharine Hepburn skateboarding, 1967. Richard Avedon and Sophia Loren, 1960s. Last image of Michael Jackson before becoming a superstar and having to leave school at age 11, 1970. Jane Russell, 1940s. Home economics class, 1920s. (1928). A German Hanomag, Kommissbrot motor car, gives good mileage per gallon of petrol because of its size. It is named because of its similarity to a loaf of army bread. Tina Louise, 1965. Baby cages for fresh air, New York City apartments, 1920s. A Red Army soldier holds a baby whose mother has died in 1943, Russia. Actor Tom Cruise in the USSR, 1988. Wolves raised from puppies are harnessed to a wagon. United States, 1890s. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon calling their moms after winning the Oscar for Good Will Hunting, 1997. Stalingrad after the end of the fighting, 1943. Designer Kansai Yamamoto and David Bowie, 1970s. The largest bell in the world, the Tsar Bell in the Moscow Kremlin, photographed in 1883. UDE members operating a barricade on the Shankill Road, Northern Ireland, 1972. A lady proudly showing her hairdo straight from the 1960s. The use of flamethrowers during World War I. German V-1 flying bomb pictured moments before impact in London in June 1944. Winston Churchill pays his respects at the grave of United States General George S. Patton, 1946. Patton died suddenly in a car crash only months after World War II ended. Homeless children in the Warsaw Ghetto, World War II. Bernard Otto Holtermann standing beside the Holtermann nugget, the largest continuous gold specimen ever found. Sikurar, 1874-1876. Automatic beer and sandwich bar in Krakow, Poland, opened on 22nd May, 1931. German scooter riders at a rest stop in Annecy, Belgium, 1940. Romani community, 1930s. Gene Tierney, 1940s. Thousands of abandoned machetes collect at the border of Rwanda and Tanzania, where Hutu refugees fleeing Rwanda are allowed across the border on the condition that they leave behind their weapons. 1994. February 1945. The United States Army is moving through Luxembourg. A sergeant puts lace on his helmet as a joke. Empress Alexandra Fyodorovna of Russia posing in full uniform circa 1910. Girls in Beijing practicing stilt walking in 1934. An FEV 3903 Churchill Avery tank with a huge bundle of firewood. This bundle is called a fascine, 1940s. In military warfare, fascines were used to fill ditches during assaults. Barbara Eden, 1960s. Russian soldiers wear creepy costumes during an impromptu performance, during a lull in the fighting during World War I. Cindy Crawford, de circa 90s. Destroyed bridge in a village near Monaco, 1944. A stylish family outing, 1946. Women having their legs painted to make it look like they were wearing stockings in Croydon, London in 1941. (1945) When the first contingent of African American WACs arrived in Britain. The acrobatic talents of champion ball walker P.J. Durney were appreciated by Victorian locals when the Irish acrobat performed a ball walk around Barry in Wales back in 1909. Charles Ebbets shooting his famous photograph, Lunch Atop a Skyscraper, while perching on the 69th floor of the GE building, 1932. Charles Lindbergh with his Spirit of St. Louis monoplane among the crowd of people welcoming him. Surrey, England, June 1927. Helen Mirren as Cleopatra in a production by the National Youth Theatre of Great Britain in 1965. Benito Mussolini, enjoying some winter recreation in Monte Terminillo, Italy, circa 1937. Royal Air Force bombers attacking German warships at Heligoland, Norway, circa December 1939. A British athlete carries the Olympic torch at Wembley Stadium and lights the ceremonial flame, 1948. Kay York in 1979. Claudia Schiffer, 1990. Newark riots. A National Guardsman stands watch in Newark, July 1967. Princess Diana being photographed by 7-year-old Prince William, 1989. Student initiation, Washington, D.C., 1959. In 1957, rock musician Jerry Lee Lewis married his cousin Myra Gale Brown. He was 22 and she was 13. Gustaf Håkansson. The 66-year-old Swede had unofficially entered the Sverigeloppet cycle race after being told he was too old. 5 days later, he crossed the finish a full day ahead of every official rider. 1951. The Cultural Revolution in China. Chinese Red Guards, 1969. Young Michelle Obama with her mother, father, and brother, 1970s. Jack Lord and Elizabeth Montgomery in 1961, checkmate. Dust storm rolling in Kansas, 1935. Daddy Longlegs, an electric underwater railway, 1897. Mutava woman demonstrates embroidery, Gujarat, 1970. October 25, 1934, a costume party for the Western States Life Insurance Company Employees Club. Dachau concentration camp survivor shows disinfection chambers for prisoners' clothing, 1945. A trailer delivering ceramic water pipes and fittings to a house in New Barnet overturned after an unsuccessful maneuver on January 22, 1937. Construction in New York City, 1959. Land being cleared for 20-story building in East 60s, still occupied brownstone is soon to go. Maurice Tillet, 1903-1954, most commonly known by his professional wrestling name, the French Angel, and his wife Olga. Brother and sister from a gypsy camp, 1930s. A young East Berliner erects a concrete wall that was later topped by barbed wire at a sector border in the divided city, August 18, 1961. Bulgarian bride and groom on their wedding day, from the Sofia region, Bulgaria, 1893. Sofia Loren, 1954. Cameron Diaz in the 1990s. Japanese students using wooden planks against riot police in an anti-Vietnam War protest at Haneda Airport during November 1967. Behind the scenes of Sesame Street. Hunter S. Thompson shoots his IBM typewriter 1989. Photo by Ingrid Morath, late 1950s. Masks by Saul Steinberg.